Hello everyone, you are watching another episode of Military Channel. In today's session, we will discuss the issue that Ukraine will get US MQ-9 Reaper strike drones. If you are curious about this topic, stay tuned only at this channel. Ukraine is negotiating the purchase of American-made heavy attack drones, which could tip the balance of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Ukrainian officials met the General Atomics, a California-based manufacturer of military drones such as the MQ-9 Reaper, the U.S. Air Force's primary reconnaissance and strike UAV, last week in Washington. Though any sale would have to be approved by the U.S. government, such talks between Ukraine and a U.S. defense contractor are unlikely to have occurred without the Biden administration's approval. Mark Brinkley, a spokesman for General Atomics, told that the aircraft is now available for immediate transfer. With U.S. government support, this aircraft could be in the hands of Ukrainian military pilots within days. General Atomics has already demonstrated its ability to quickly deliver MQ-9s to other countries. According to Brinkley, in the last collaboration with the U.S. government to deliver MQ-9 Reapers to a partner nation in less than 30 days. The logistics footprint could be minimal, much less than what people associate with UAS logistics footprints in the United States. As reported by Washington Post, the Biden administration is already planning to supply Ukraine with more advanced weapons. Concerned that heavy weapons like tanks and jet fighters would escalate the conflict, the U.S. has carefully provided Ukraine with smaller weapons like man-portable Javelin anti-tank and Stinger anti-aircraft missiles, as well as small 5-pound Switchblade kamikaze drones. The MQ-9 would be a completely different beast. While General Atomics did not specify which models it might sell, the Reaper, along with the earlier MQ-1 Predator, has been the backbone of U.S. military drone operations for more than 20 years. The MQ-9 could fundamentally alter the war, where drones have emerged as one of Ukraine's most lethal weapons against Russian armored columns. The Turkish-made TB2 Bayraktar has emerged as the unexpected star of Ukraine's drone fleet. The TB2, which is armed with laser-guided missiles and is thought to have around 20 in Ukraine, has destroyed hundreds of Russian tanks, artillery pieces, and anti-aircraft weapons. Despite significant Russian investment in air defense, Russia's fighters and anti-aircraft weapons have been surprisingly ineffective against Ukrainian UAV, including hobby drones converted into surveillance and attack craft. However, comparing the TB2 to the MQ-9 is analogous to comparing a Humvee to a passenger sedan. The MQ-9 has a 6 to 6 feet wingspan, while the TB2 has a 39 feet wingspan. The MQ-9 weighs approximately 11,000 pounds when fully loaded with fuel and weapons, whereas the TB2 weighs 1,400 pounds. The Reaper is twice as fast as the TB2 with a top speed of about 300 miles per hour versus 135 miles per hour. The MQ-9 is notable for its vastly superior range, up to 1,200 miles for the base model and 1,600 miles for the ER extended range version versus only 93 miles for the TB2. The Turkish drone would have to operate relatively close to the front lines in eastern and southern Ukraine, increasing its vulnerability to Russian air and missile strikes on airfields. On the other hand, the MQ-9 has the range to operate from safer bases in eastern Ukraine, given that the distance between the western Ukrainian city of Lviv and Kiev in the east is 291 miles, and Lviv to the southern port of Odessa is 800 miles. The extra range of the Reaper could be critical to protecting Ukraine's drone fleet from Russian retaliation. The MQ-9 would, in fact, have the range to strike deep into Russia, all the way to Moscow. According to General Atomics, more sophisticated American drones would benefit Ukraine. They would greatly expand the overall military force's ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capacity and provide highly lethal strike capabilities not afforded by smaller combat UAV. Another consideration is survivability. While Russian air defenses have proven to be remarkably ineffective against drones, history has shown that armies eventually adapt. So far, the MQ-9 has been used in areas where the enemy lacked serious air defenses, such as in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Supersonic Russian jet fighters against slow-moving drones could be a problem if handled correctly. Nonetheless, Drones have emerged as a thorn in the side of the Russian army, which relies on tanks and artillery to sustain its exploitation. Even a handful of US-made heavy attack drones flown by determined Ukrainian pilots could provide the outnumbered and outgunned Ukrainians with the critical edge they require. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, comment, and the most important one is to hit the subscribe button for more updates on awesome videos. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.